Well, hello and welcome to Beyond Mixed Media with Michelle Holden, how to discover your true art. And as you're seeing this painting, which is a 16 by 20, it inspired this week's. These are two 16 by 20s that I decided to, why not? They've been sitting around my studio for far too long. And some of you, a lot of you have been asking, well, do you do some demos out of the art journal? And of course I do. But sometimes it takes me a while to develop a concept or a series. So these canvases were previously painted. I put some texture on with some molding paste and then gesso, of course. And these are just the thin practice ones. So they're great to practice on because, there's no risk in, I'm comfortable with this level. And I'm trying to work my way up to the larger canvases, feeling the same way, having the same attitude of the freedom, the mark making, not being reluctant, all of those things that this intuitive art practice helps you with. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. And don't forget to sign up for my 5-day free course, which is all about intuitive art journaling, intuitive art practicing, where you blend a mixed media and your intuition. So as you can see, I'm active. Not always, but mostly I like to activate the canvas just with some marks, water-soluble graphite. And now, I think last week I mentioned I was doing a deep clean of my studio, and I almost threw out all my scraps, but I saved some of my favorite colors: blues, turquoise, blue and white, the neutrals, and of course black and white and black and neutral. And I've had this in my mind for a while, and I wanted to start just gluing down, pasting down collage pieces. This is going to be like an all over, but go from larger pieces to smaller pieces as you go up. Now, knowing that these will be covered, but I will go back in. This is a slightly different process. It's still definitely an intuitive process where I'm just doing intuitive placement, and I'm trying not to think at all when I'm putting these down. I'm just trying to spread them out and just use differences in shapes and directionality. So I've just sped this up, of course, and there's a mixture of text, stenciled, high contrast, orange. So I wanted to keep it in the realm of this rather simple palette. Oranges and warm tones underneath, but my intention is to end up with a mostly blue. I don't know if it's going to go light or blue with darker or a combination, so we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I've got some ideas, but we'll see what happens. So I'm just using the heavy gloss gel, as you can see, and this is my new station. So I'm loving it because, of course, if I'm going to do canvases, I like to work with medium-sized canvases flat on a table. This table is still a little short, so I think I'm going to get chop up some 2x4 pieces or something to put under the legs. It's just for those folding tables. But when I'm standing, it's just a little hard on the back, so I'm going to make some adjustments. And as you can see, last week's art journaling page, I'm leaving it there just as an inspiration, a very loose one, because I'm loving, and I've said, exploring these blues with neutrals. And of course, my intention here is once I start adding some paint, some marks, then you excavate and score back. So there's going forward, building and excavating, building, veiling, scoring through, adding paint, adding collage, and I'll just be going back and forth until something starts happening. So I'm just moving along here. I've got some lights. I'm loving that turquoise piece. And I'm just going to speed it up while I finish up and we can have a chat. So this is one really good way to use up your scraps. I have so much, but it was really hard to part with a lot of them. And if I start doing this, and if this is a fun type of series that I love, let me know in the comments below if you're enjoying this so far. I would love to hear from you. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. As you can see, I am sticking with this channel, and I know I have been here a long time and trying to just build some momentum and some traction with my channel as I learn and move forward. What do you do with your scraps? Now, you don't need to work on a 16 by 20, and I'm going to show you in the upper right-hand corner behind the clay, the pottery pastel container, you can see two, I think they're 8x8s, thick gallery canvases. I'm going to start with neutral there and then move into my black and white. So my art journaling, my intuitive art journaling practice has gotten me here. This is why it's so important. And then I'll put it to a side for a little while, of course, while I'm working on something that I discovered and I want to take it to different surfaces. Wood panel, canvas, and even larger paper. So that's how I'm working. It's sort of a back and forth. And then once I'm done with that, I might get spurred on to, making quite a few if I'm really liking my results. Even though I'm not thinking about my results, I know I want to find my true voice. And there's this feeling, these emotions that I've been trying to find as they're laying there in my peripheral vision, just outside. So I'm just digging, trying to discover my true voice. And I hope what I've learned so far is helping you discover your true art. So give my 5-day workshop or 5-day lesson, 5-day course, I called it, Intuitive Layers, and give it a try. And it's supported with a private Facebook group, and I have almost 80 members there. So I really hope to see you there. And very soon, some future Zooms, and I'm in the middle of starting my signature course, or my big course, my first one, and I can't wait to share that with you soon. So as you can see, and probably here too, I'm overthinking, but I just had this. And in the future, I probably want to use collage that I've created specifically in a different simple color scheme and use it this way. But this, I thought, I'll just start just very loosely. And I have another series that's a lot tighter with every piece of collage that has meaning behind it. And I love doing it, but it's quite challenging and I've gotten stuck. So this series is going to help me get unstuck with that and loosen up. So the black and white, I'll be coming in with some more of that. And neutrals, yellow oxide, the turquoise. You've seen me create a lot of blue collage. And you can also go ahead and create specific collage with specific patterns, or ones that you really love that all come together cohesively, and just have a blast doing this. And so while I finish up here with the top portion, I am going to do some veiling. And as you can see, I'm going to use my transparent white and some neutral. And over there where I was just pointing, I sort of just did a sneak sort of practice to see what color or what value, which ends up being white. Blue was too early to add a color at this particular layer. I just wanted it to come together, to be unified and tone down some colors. And as you can see, I love the brush, but I just had this thing with brush strokes. So, and also using the color shaper is a better way, I thought, because the layer can be very either thick or thin, and you can just change the angle very quickly. So don't worry about some colors that you cover up, because they'll give you a little hint or a clue, because this is just the first, second, third layer, and it's only the beginning. So this is just to build a history. And I absolutely love artwork, abstract artwork especially, when there's collage pieces that have been really buried under a lot of paint. And it just adds this mystery and also history to the work. So I'm just rubbing off some of the brighter colors, and then I'm switching. As I said, I love my new station. I had to get a new camera mount with an arm reaching and a ring. I wish the ring was brighter so I could work at night, but you know what? I'm liking the light. Let me know about the quality here. There's less glare. And I love this stage because I'm just playing. It's just random right now. It doesn't really matter. And then at the end, I'm going to take a peek to see, okay, I really want some of this bright color, but I didn't want like bright colors everywhere. So, and that's what I'm doing right now. These yellow squares have some importance, and they're going to make me respond with a warm layer, which is right now. So this yellow, and I've been looking for Indian hue. I'm loving that, or a cadmium deep, but this was close enough. And of course, I wanted to add white and a bit of the neutral to it just to tone it down a little bit. And I'm going to add the yellow near where there's yellow, just to extend it. I don't really know why at this point, and as you can see, you can get some green, but that layer had to dry, so there wasn't any mixing. I don't want this to be green in any way, but if there's little peaks of some different nuances of that hue, that's fine. And the black and white, I will be coming in with more collage, stencils, line. I'm really wanting to push myself, free myself up this time. And if you have the same, which we all do, artists, this is just a fun way to do it. Find some old canvases that have been sitting around, or anything new, or just your art journal. It's easier with the art journal because it's smaller, but I like to see, at first I was going to do a light one, like veil with a dark and veil with a light, and I thought, you know what, no, I want to see these two and just see how different or not they'll turn out. So the orange is really nice. You'll see at the end of this video, so please stay to the end. What I'm going to do, at least the first layer of bright colors, when I put another layer on top yet. So I'm filling in those spaces. I'm liking those spaces now, but this is just hindsight as I'm doing my voiceover and watching myself work. Actually, it's a way that I learn. And I think I've discussed that a lot in my videos. See, so I scraped that away. I'm liking that. I'm loving white, maybe not a stark white, but in my mind's eye, I've been wanting to do a series of mostly blue with neutral and say yellow, ochreish accents. And then here I went really crazy and added some quinacridone magenta to make a deeper red orange. Like, whoa, what am I thinking? Oh, so I thought, oh man, I couldn't handle it anymore. I needed to add white. So do you like bright colors, or do they just, I'm getting used to them. I'm having fun. And after I do a series of neutral, I need a hit of bright colors. So yes. So that those black lines in the lower left-hand corner of the one on the left, that is mono printing, where you make some swirls with the line applicator on a piece of whatever it is, and then you can print those around. So that would have been good, but I will remember that. So the pink I'm loving. I'm loving pink and yellow and orange, and I'm just playing with shapes. Nothing's really standing out at this point. It's just sort of all over. What I'm doing is putting enough of these colors down so I have enough choice when I put my blue layer on top. So scoring through with my awl and just removing some of that upper layer, just, I don't know, it just sort of breaks it up. It allows some light to come in. So here we go with a light blue, a cerulean, and I bought a darker blue. There it is there. I will leave all the colors in the comments section below. So, but feel free to use what you have and separate your warm and your cool so you don't get the mud going on. And now notice my blue shapes, the ratio is going to be greater. And as I'm moving through and creating with these shapes with my color shaper, I'm really liking the texture. There's a physical texture that's happening. I know that big blue one on the bottom is going to be interesting. And then I remember, well, let's use the brayer, because then I can get some really nice surprise shapes or pulls, and there's more of the underlayer showing through. It isn't so thick, and I'm liking that approach better. I love the polka dots. Does anyone here use paper napkins or collect paper napkins and use them in your collage? I was doing that for a while, and I've got a bunch, polka dot ones especially. They're fun. Tricky to paste down though, you have to separate the layers. But I've got a new set of, I've got a whole bunch of new stuff coming. Stencils, I can't wait. They should be arriving soon or this week. And I plan to use those on this. I don't think they're great big ones. It's probably, but I'm going to use other marks and stamping tools. So notice the blue, that light is coming in. Now it isn't white, but definitely some white on top. But now, once you get enough different areas all over, so this is an all over composition. I'm not even thinking about composition because this is all going to be covered up. And then scratching through. And now, here comes some black. I was rather careful with the black and didn't quite like the harsh Mars black, so I added some blue to that. So my dark is going to be this very dark midnight blue. And I was being a little too careful with it, but watch as I change and I add some water from my water bottle, and then it really thins out. And then I thought, well, it's a color shaper, so why don't I use it like a color shaper and just don't worry about it? Because the effect that I'm going for is to put the dark over the light and then scratch through it, so it will reveal all sorts of underlying bright peaks of color in the lines. And today, since I was doing something a little, not new, but I haven't done it for a while, I didn't do a live narration. And it gives me more options for speeding up my video and showing you my process without taking too long. So I hope you don't mind. I also had some, so now here I'm lifting, just making sure there wasn't any puddles. And now I'm scoring through with my awl. And I'm loving what's happening. So adding water. Oh, I do have to mention, since it's paper, I didn't record that. I didn't show that. But I did cover it with a gloss medium, a more fluid one, the whole thing. So it would protect the papers, because I knew I was going to be quite, scoring through and doing all sorts of things to it. So you might want to consider that, because paper, water, and all those things, you need to protect the underlying surfaces. So as you can see, it's just a 70% isopropyl alcohol. I can't find 90, but to me the 70 is fine. And when I'm working on hard surfaces, I use sandpaper and all sorts of things. So after this, I'm going to let it sit for a day or two and then come in with the new layers. So I hope this video has helped you find ways of using your scraps, using some old canvases, even using this to cover up things, and just keep going. And we'll see you in the next video for part 2. So I hope to see you there. Happy creating!